Health Talk, a series where we discuss everything about health, lifestyle, longevity, and how can you make an impact on your own health. Over the last few months, we have got guests from various fields. We have got doctors, we've got scientists, we've got yoga experts, we've even got biohackers talking to us about what can we do to make an impact. But today I have a very special guest because this guest is actually somebody who has practiced a lot of what we talked about and made a serious impact on his own life. And he is the living example on how these changes can really, really make an impact. So without further ado, I would love to invite Sandeep Vasant on the show. Once again, welcome Sandeep. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Vishal, for having me. I think thanks to the entire GOQii fraternity for having me on the show. Thanks once again, and good evening to everyone.
Yes, Sandeep, it's a very special evening because you have an amazing story. You are a very busy professional in sales and marketing. Live in the technology capital of India, which is Bangalore. But then you had to pay dearly of that life of always being rushed and busy. And now that there is an impact in you, of course, the version of Sandeep we are seeing here is, let me use the word, massively upgraded. So please, first of all, tell us a little bit about your own background and how did you start working in the field of IT?
Yeah, basically I'm born brought up from Bangalore. I live in Bangalore, north of Bangalore. And I did my engineering from Bangalore, so a typical Bangalorean. My family is also based out of Bangalore. I'm married, I have a son. On the professional front, I head the sales and business development for a MNC company in Bangalore, and I head the entire. So my job profession per se involves a lot of traveling. And when I say traveling, in the gist of the heavy traffic, I most of the time goes the traffic, and then your health kind of goes for a toss. So every time I'm on the go, traveling around different cities out of India, meeting customers, and it was health was a secondary, I would say, a last opinion rather in my kind of list to the to-do list in a day.
We go into your professional life. Tell us
Right.
a little bit about how were you as a kid and in school and college? How were you very athletic? What were your hobbies and interests?
Now, I think a very important, I think point you kind of pulled it. I think today, I think when we kind of talk on my present, I think on the school, I was actually never into fitness. I was never into any running events, cricket. I think when I keep talking to my friends, they say, I've been playing for the national level, I've been playing soccer, I've been playing cricket. But Sandeep, as a person, I never kind of even participated in none of the events. I was not kind of physically fit from my school till my college until the time GOQii happened.
So you have been one of those very studious kids. Tell me,
Yeah,
do
if
you
you're
remember any incident in school or college where you decided not to participate and spend up time studying in your library or somewhere else and not opt in for a physical activity?
Yeah, I think there was a sports event and I was kind of selected to do an event and I kind of bunked that, skipped that event because I thought that I'm not physically fit and then it kind of drains away my energy. I skipped that and I went to kind of partying with my friends. I remember that happened in my 10th. So,
But
yes.
it's also there, right? There was this impression, and even now, that somehow people think that kids should only be studying, and playing is actually wasting of time. There was this whole thing of negative emotion associated with going out, and parents always want you to study. So did you see any kind of pressure around spending more time studying versus playing?
I was kind of lucky enough that my parents kind of encouraged me to do everything, not only studies. And since I have a 5-year-old son, I also encourage him not only to studies. Yes, studies is very important, but being physically fit, being healthy, taking up sport, that kind of pumps you up on the studies as well. So everything is kind of cyclic and supports you. Not only to my kid, even to in my job profession, to my customers, to my sales team, I kind of convey the same message. Because if you're mentally, physically fit, that also kind of relates there.
So tell us about what changed in 2017. How did you get introduced to GOQii?
Yes, I think when I started this profession of sales and marketing, traveling all over the place, and then little did I check on my weight. The weight kind of just boomed high, and then every time I looked at the mirror, I thought, okay, yes, I'm fit. But one fine day, the weight was staggering at around 90 kg, and the BMI scale said, Sandeep, you're obese and you need to reduce. And suddenly, I kind of the panic struck, and I said, what to do, where to go? There are many myths around the place, and there are people talking about you take this diet, do that, do this, and then you don't have food, you have protein. And then I was lucky enough, I kind of picked up a pack, and that's when GOQii happened. I kind of won a contest, and GOQii was the band which kind of came to my. I was lucky and I was blessed to have GOQii that point
And
of time.
it's crazy, right? I mean, you did not get GOQii or you bought GOQii. You actually bought another product which had bundled GOQii as a prize for you. And that was
Absolutely.
actually a, comparatively, let's call it a comparatively healthy product. You actually bought a bag of Baggeries
Yes,
cornflakes, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
it is, Baggeries is one of our partners. They have done a number of promotions, and and it's really amazing to see that when people are looking, you were of course looking for help. The fact that you were trying to get Baggeries versus eating some other food which could be a lot more unhealthy.
Right,
I think you dabbled into GOQii. But
right.
people win many things in contests and prizes, right? I mean, you could have just given it to somebody, or I mean, what prompted you to use GOQii once you got it?
Yeah, that's where the intention of picking up the food pack was to lower my weight, and that's when GOQii, I was blessed with GOQii, and here I got a brand which said, Sandeep, you could track the steps, you have a coach, you could kind of recycle or re-energize the entire thing. I was totally amazed to use this brand, which was something new, very unique and new during the time of 2016, and which was something very unique for me. I thought, let's try this and then see how it kind of helps me to turn the weight around and my health goal around.
And tell me something that, in the initial days, and again, GOQii is a young startup. We were also fairly young in 2016, 17. How was your experience with the GOQii ecosystem? I think you were using a much more basic device of GOQii with the coach service. So
Correct.
what was your experience with GOQii at that point of time?
Yes, I still remember during those time it was more of tracking the steps. So for an initial start was just kind of I took a baby step into health. I think that helped me to track my step. So I was doing, I remember 1K, 2K, I was literally struggling to do that. So the steps counter was something which really helped me. And the feature called coaching. You have a coach who's kind of supporting you, motivating you, overviewing at the food what we eat, because between the four walls we kind of munch in on all those junk food, and then that shows on your health. We don't discuss the food what we have with our family and anyone else, I would say, even friends. But that's where GOQii at the coach was kind of closely monitoring on the food what goes in, and a combination of the food and the steps was kind of helped me to give me that initial talk into the health fitness.
So tell me something. That time your baby must be like just 1 or 1.5 years old, right? Must be very young when you started.
Absolutely, yes. You kind of just started with that.
That becoming a parent was a big thing which triggered you to look at health? Before that,
Yeah, I was kind of in midway, because Nora was coming from a kind of fitness or athletic background, and my weight was quite high. I was kind of balancing, and I didn't have any clue whether I'm going to kind of overcome this or this. It was kind of a struggle period that time. But I think hope is something which I didn't let go. In line with the GOQii motivational feature and the step counter, I think thanks to both coming in line, it kind of helped me to come what I am today.
But look, clearly from 2017, 2016, you have come a long way. So, what were your initial challenges, right? Because see, the most difficult part of getting on a fitness and health journey is to start. Because a lot of people do this for 10 days and then they're like, I can't do it anymore. So we
Yes.
do this constantly. So, what kept you motivated, especially in the first phase of your journey?
I think when I kind of had the GOQii on my hand and then kind of started with counting the steps, and I remember I started with 1K, 2K, and then it gradually went to 5K. What happened in the entire process? I also corrected the food, kind of let go the junk food because I had to take a picture and share it to my coach. What happened in the entire process was that I started feeling better. I started feeling lighter. It kind of re-energized my entire system, and I was feeling more fresh, which helped me in my profession as well. And I said, yes, I have a way to reduce. I'm feeling healthy and I'm also feeling fresh and I'm feeling quite excited. So let me take it to the step two, step three, and see what happens. So that motivation, along with that, I think patience is something which is very
But
important.
one problem which always happens, and I've heard this with a lot of times, that suddenly you have a party, you have an office event, you have somebody's birthday, or boss calls you for a dinner, or in Bangalore, everybody wants you to go to the pub. So how did you make sure that you will be, avoiding, or how did you manage all these other commitments which normally people have?
I think, yeah, well, I think rightly said. I think every day, I think you will have something of or the other which is kind of boomerang to you. I remember we celebrate our anniversary. The very next day is my birthday, and then followed by the weekend. So it's like a 4 days of party. So and if you're going out with friends, you can't say that I'm going for a salad and you guys party. It actually doesn't happen. It happens very rare. So what happens is, yes, there are days where you can have a cheat day. You can party. It's not that I go complete diet free. I have only into salad. Not really. You may have days where 2 days, 3 days of partying, traveling. But what is important is how you come back. Okay, 2 days complete cheat meals. You have had the desserts. You have partied well. Third day, fourth day. See that you kind of compensate that. See that you do your exercise. See that you have a good food. That is something which I follow, and that has been really helping me. I may have days, I may have weekends to party, I may have good events to celebrate. It's okay to celebrate, but how you come back is something very important.
A very common question which we get, and a lot of players tell us is, "Oh, GOQii is not accurate. It is showing 500 extra steps, 1,000 extra steps." A lot of emphasis is given on how accurate the step count is. So, in your end, you are somebody who started with 1,000 steps and now you are doing marathon runs, right?
Yes.
You have gone for the entire journey. So, what is your view on accuracy of this data? Do you really think that mattered, or how did that help you with your coach and your overall lifestyle?
I think I didn't kind of concentrate on the accuracy because yes, there can be plus minus. End of the day, it's a device. It can give you plus and minus variation. But what's important that if you have a target of 5K, 10K per day, do 11K. Or if you feel that okay, accuracy is plus or minus what 500 or 100K, go for the maximum. Go for 11K. You can't say that just okay, the accuracy is not so good that okay, I've done for the day or I may do it tomorrow. I think more rather than concentrating on the device, concentrate on ourselves and then go maximum rather than the accuracy of plus or minus.
The other thing is that a lot of people are skeptical, and this is right now we are talking of pre-COVID, right? When there was not too much virtual interaction. People
Right.
wanted to see people face to face. But you had a virtual coach. Did you really think, first of all, that whether this was a real person? Because a lot of people are running bots, as we know. So, how was your first interaction with your coach?
I think yeah, I had that point whether it is generated by an AI or someone else speaking at the other side. I did have that doubt, but I think considering the background of GOQii and then consider the entire ecosystem what GOQii runs, I think the trust is what I had. And then when the coach started talking to me on a monthly basis on the review call, started kind of messaging me on the food pattern. the step tracker. Then I realized that it is a real coach for sure. It's not AI generated coach.
You had a pattern of how you engage with your coach. What was your typical pattern?
The pattern was like end of the day, I kind of update the entire food logs, my step counter, and the activity what I do just before I go to sleep, so that the entire summarized day is there. And by the morning, the coach kind of reviews the entire system and then gives me a feedback where did I go wrong, what to correct. And then during the course of conversation over the chat that happened daily, and monthly one, we had a review call. So I was kind of eagerly waiting for the review call to get good comments from the coach. So that is something
So
interesting.
tell me something. Has the coach ever reprimanded you, or like given you some strong words if you go wrong, or the coach has? How has the interaction been with your?
Yeah, it's been really good, but yeah, a couple of days, those party days when the weight kind of zoomed high, yeah, I did have my share of thoughts from the coach. But yes, what's important that how you come back and then, but also very important is that the coach does not give you the standard habits. It kind of varies every weekly or every month. So you're kind of on the toes. Okay, what's the new habit for this month? So you're kind of on the toes to take up the new habit. It's not kind of moderate or same habit.
The GOQii app has also expanded a lot, right, from where it started. So, are there any other app features which you end up using a lot today?
I think as I said, I started off with the step counter. I started off interacting with the coach, and over the last 2 years, I was working out at a gym, going outside for walking in the park and working out there. Last I think 3 years, I remember a feature called GOQii Play, which was there in the app, which had different workouts, right, from cardio, right, from meditation, yoga. I was a person which I just took up kind of working out at the gym, more of a cardio, and then started off with running. Yoga was something very new, never happened. Thanks to GOQii Play, I kind of learned yoga. Meditation was something never happened. Thanks to GOQii Play, I'm doing meditation every day, which is kind of keeping me grounded, helping me kind of go calm and then think clear. So meditation, Zumba is something which never happened. I think a lot of these exercise pattern which was never in my life last 2 years, with the GOQii Play, it's part of my routine.
And now I don't know if you have seen, we have introduced GOQii Pro, which is
Yes.
the two-way working out sessions where we
Ah,
believe that it can take play to the next level, because play was still one way and text. But now, just like how we are doing this live video session, you
right.
can have a live video session with some of the best coaches and experts in India, and then they can help you. So I think I would, if you have not already experienced it, I would highly encourage you to check that out. Also, I believe you've been doing a lot of healthy food shopping on the GOQii store. How was
Yes.
your experience there?
I think on the food habits and then what the coach says, and then you're kind of confused what to pick up, what is the right stuff, what is the right brand. Not only on the food habits, not only on the food, even the accessories. You kind of get confused where to pick up. But GOQii to the rescue, you have all the accessories, all the food and gym accessories there. And personally, I've been purchasing a lot of these accessories, and I the quality has been tremendously excellent. So I if there is a food stuff which is going to help me, I kind of take it up without even thinking twice, because the quality is something which is
So
excellently
so
very
tell
good.
me, from where you started to where you have reached. You are now what, 75 kgs or 70 kgs. You've become super fit and athletic. You've run marathons. Who do you credit this success to, and why?
I think definitely for sure GOQii, because that's something which I changed my entire life from being unfit to fit, and bringing a lot of these working out sessions, correcting my habit. I think I should really thank GOQii and the coach Naina Sudarshan, who has been kind of motivating me every day. So the coach who has been pushing me, and of course my family as well, who's been always there to support. And I've gifted my family the GOQii watch, so they are also quite happy with it. And my wife is also my partner with GOQii. So it's kind of not alone. It is not only me, but also my entire family who's kind of on the same platform. And then when all of us are on the same platform of the goal of health and fitness, I think it makes the life much more easier.
So, Sandeep, you just mentioned something very interesting, right? You credited your coach, your family, GOQii, and I would also credit your own motivation, right? I mean, this is a team effort. And especially what people tend to believe is that health becomes a very personal and individualistic journey. And that is very difficult because there are times where you want to give up because you have good days and bad days. But the minute you have a coach, a minute you have your family member who's supporting you, the minute you have friends, like you have so many friends on the GOQii Arena, I've seen your arena profile. Suddenly you are motivated that something else is there to push me and take me to the next level. And you specifically mentioned about your coach Nana, and we have a surprise for you coming up. Actually, we have an interesting surprise for you. So I don't know if we have revealed it yet, but yes, we now have Nana also as part of this chat.
Okay.
Welcome, Nana. How are you doing?
Hi, Vishal. Thank you for inviting me into this conversation. I'm doing good. How about you? Hi, Sandeep.
Hi, Naina. I think I was okay, quite really surprised. Okay. Very nice. Nice
I
to
know.
see my coach.
And by the way, I have to tell you another interesting story. Nana is also my coach. So I am actually,
Oh,
we are actually having both of us getting coached by Nana. So
that's
for
nice.
everybody here, Dr. Nana, I have to call her doctor, is an expert in health and nutrition. She's an expert in Ayurveda. She's an expert in diabetics. She's an expert in every possible field. She's like a master's degree, right? I mean, but more importantly than being a master, she is somebody who is very patient, very caring, and she has a lot of attention to detail. She will look at my plate and give me very, very specific feedback. So first of all, welcome to the show, Nana. We
Thank
have
you.
Sandeep over here who could not stop talking about how good you are. So first of all, tell us, how has your journey been with GOQii as a coach, and how has your relationship with Sandeep developed over this time, and how has he made all this impact?
Okay, well, I started my journey as a coach on GOQii, I think, in October 2018. So initially, it was something new to me, but again, I have done my master's in health promotion, which was kind of, I could easily relate it, like whatever I wanted to do, because I was working as a clinical research professional earlier, and I didn't like it so much, and it was not what I have studied. So I always wanted something like this, and I thought, okay, it totally fits into me. And then as I started working, yeah, I have definitely learned a lot through this almost like 3 years it's gonna be. And I think every player is he has a different mindset, and they are different, they're having different routine, and their career, everything, it matters. And we have to, as you said, we have to learn to be patient. So otherwise it's not easy as a to work as a coach. So I have learned to be patient, so that is one good thing that I have learned through GOQii. And apart from that, I think there are different things, like I have myself, I have become more aware about my own health. And not just me, my family too. If you ask my kids, they know a lot of habits because I keep on talking to my players, and they know, okay, you say this, you say this, so they also have started following that. So that has impacted a lot in a good way to my family as well.
And tell us, how difficult was it to coach Sandeep?
No, not at all. I guess I wouldn't say he is difficult, but I think he joined my team, I think around March of 2020. you know what happened during that time. I think exactly on 22nd of March or so, where the whole nation was, gone into lockdown. So then we were thinking, okay, it's a big challenge because he's into running and going outdoors and all that. So that was a big challenge. Apart from that, I think his goal was like not that big because he has already lost a lot of weight already, and his that current goal when he started was like only losing about 5 kgs to come to his BMI level, and then to lose some waist size also. So that was his goal. But we were thinking like what can we do now? Then we thought, okay, let's begin with the home workouts. I was not even sure how comfortable he is with the home workouts because he's got used to that running in fitness events and all that, 5K and all. So I thought, okay, let's try this. But it luckily, like, it worked for him, and he lost about 3 kgs in 1 month. So that was a good motivation for me also and for him also, because lot of time, and the lockdowns, the concept itself was something new to us. We didn't know how it works and all that. And then in next 4 months, I think he lost about all like 5 kgs. He reached his target. Then, but his waist size was, I think, still the same. So then we thought, okay. But then another next challenge was, by then the unlock was happening. So that again as a challenge, as because he's into travel job, so we don't know when he has to travel. So I kept on telling him, okay, if you have to travel next, then you will have to follow these habits. You can be active like this. So all those things I started guiding him, and he did so. I mean, he didn't travel, I think, so much after that, but still, like, he was into travel in between. But yeah, it helped. And then within that next 1 month, like September or so in 2020, he lost the 3 inches around his waist also. So that was like, okay, we are like into the baseline which he has to come BMI level. And then, yeah, so that is like, he was easy. I should say.
Amazing. So Sandeep, given that, Naina knows so much about you, I'm going to ask her 3 questions. So what is Sandeep's favorite food?
You actually, after this weight loss, I mean, when he came to that normal BMI, then we started that another challenge was to maintain that, because people easily lose weight, but then again they gain back, right? So that happens. Then I started looking into details into his food. So I started nudging him on everything.
So what is his favorite? My question to you was, what is his favorite dish?
Favorite dish? I know about you. I know you like masala dosa, right? I don't know. Maybe anything. I think deep fried food, he will like it. I'm not sure.
So Sandeep, we have got you on that. And what is his favorite exercise?
Favorite exercise, I think he loves to do strength training, and also he's into yoga also. And then of course he walks and runs regularly, very regularly.
And what is his cheat meal? The thing he likes to cheat when he's trying to work out?
Cheat meal is all these mixtures and anything deep fried, as I told you. Like, every time I feel bad about sometimes telling that to him, but he never took it in a negative way. He always took it positive, and he kept on saying, even on the calls, I kept on saying, we have to change. He say, okay, but he has made a lot of improvement in that.
I think, Naina, the point I was wanting to make here is, Sandeep, Naina definitely knows a lot more about you than your other family members. So how did you deal with this problem? You have to tell us that. What was your wife's reaction? That who's this woman who's telling you to do all of these things?
No. You had to know one more thing. His wife is also my player. So if he's not listening, I can complain to her.
So no choice. I'm kind of locked, so no choice. So health coach.
So now you have a very complicated role, right? You are not only coaching Sandeep, but you are also coaching his wife. So now what happens? How do you deal with this dynamic of wife? He'll say, "Arey, my wife cooked this, I had to eat this." And how do you deal with this whole trio of coaching both husband and wife?
No, no, it was not hard. I mean, his wife also, she's very sweet, and she followed. And in fact, she also lost a lot of weight. I think now she's carrying. So, I think she has done a lot. I put a lot of effort in that. So she was easier. I wouldn't say. I mean, I wouldn't compare both of them because everybody is different. But she's nice, and they both, like, sometimes when I call her, I will tell, okay, you need to, you all need to control your, whatever unhealthy habits and all that. So that will, like, as a family, it will help if, everybody is following the same thing, because one is eating unhealthy food and the other has to follow the healthy food. That doesn't happen. I mean, it doesn't stay for long, sustain for long.
So as a coach, you must have now encountered many players of all kinds, people like me who are also not as disciplined at times. So how do you compare Sandeep, and what do you think are his strengths, and why has he been able to get such amazing results?
One thing is, Sandeep is he's determined to do something, and he has that consistency and dedication. So that is important, because when it comes to fitness, like, some people do it as a hobby and some people take it as a burden. Most of them, they try to procrastinate most of the time, but Sandeep never did that. Even though whatever he's eating, healthy or unhealthy, he puts it on the food log. So that shows, like, he has interest in this, because people procrastinate and they stop connecting with me when they are not doing, and when they're not following anything. So that's why, like,
You are saying when people don't eat healthy, they stop updating you.
Yeah, right. Many of them, they do that. They say that, like, when I call them, why didn't you update? Then they say, no, because I couldn't follow anything that you said. I couldn't follow a healthy diet. Then I motivate them. Okay, it's okay. I mean, we are human, and it's our nature that we go off track sometimes. But we have to know the moderation, so then we have to get back to that track, so that you will not, whatever you did so far, it will not go waste. Yeah.
That's amazing, right? I mean, how you deal with all these complications. So Sandeep,
Right.
tell me something, with this whole impact on what happened in you, how did you describe this to your friends and family members? Did they believe what you said, that, oh, I have this app and I have this device? How did you describe your GOQii experience to your family members, given that you have now got a lot of your friends and family members to also join GOQii?
Correct. So what happened is, in the entire process, when I kind of lost weight, I was more fitter. Automatically, rather than me talking, they saw the change happening in me, and then they asked, "What happened? What is the diet? What is that you're doing?" I said, "Nothing. It's simple. I'm on GOQii, and GOQii is kind of pushing me to the next level." So rather than me talking to them, they saw the change happening in me, and then made my family members, and then my friends, my colleagues, they started asking, "What are you following?" The first question is, "What are you following? What are you eating? What are you not
What
eating?
diet are you following is what
What diet? What diet are you following?" But I said, "That's not." I'm a person. I never followed any diet. Diet is something which is against. I feel that we follow good food and then do our exercise. So looking at the change, what happened in me, that's where I kind of told them that GOQii, and then I was quite happy to see that most of the people are still struggling with the weight loss. They say, "Sandeep, how do I lose? What should I do? Give me some tips." I think I've been sharing my experience with most of my friends, and they have been really impressed the way GOQii has been structured. And I think most of them are also there in GOQii. But yes, as my coach said, they are kind of on and off on GOQii.
That's amazing. And given all these changes you have done, a lot of people say, "Yaar, mera to ho gaya, I have achieved my goal." Why do you continue to have a coach in your life? I mean, why do you have now renewed GOQii and our services for so many years, and I was told that you're already renewed for the next year also. So what is it prompting you to continue to be on the platform?
So what happens is once you reach the goal, and then if you lose the track, and if there is no motivation, like my coach Dr. Naina there, who's not motivating someone, not motivating me, then I say that chalo yeah, tomorrow let's see. Then the days becomes months, and the months becomes years, and then in the process your weight increases. So I think thanks to a coach like Dr. Naina, who's been pushing me hard every day, I am on the toes, so watching my food. So that's very important. Otherwise, one fine day back, it's easier to kind of gain the weight rather than losing the weight and then maintaining. I think maintaining is something very important, which I'm kind of doing it well. But I think maintaining is also very important. Thanks to the coach.
And Naina, what is your philosophy like? Because a lot of times that's what happens. Coach players say, I have lost my weight or I have achieved my goal. Now what? So how do you engage and push people to do more?
Yeah. So I feel that fitness is not just a hobby, or it's not a burden, as I told earlier. It's a part. It needs to be a part of our daily life to be healthy. So when we think about that, like as per American College of Sports Medicine, a healthy person needs about 150 minutes of exercise per week to be healthy, to maintain the health. It's not just losing weight or any goal. It's just to be healthy. So I keep that as a my fitness mantra is that, and I follow that, and I tell the same thing to my players as well.
But my point is that, okay, I'm already doing 120 minutes. I'm doing 500 minutes. So next what?
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep pushing me to my next goal?
It's to be healthy. You have to follow. I mean, whatever is there, why we are doing this, to maintain our health. It's not like just to lose weight or anything, right? So nowadays, it's like chronic diseases are very common. So anybody can get diabetes, anybody can get hypertension. So to prevent all those diseases, we must exercise for not just exercise, balanced diet, a good lifestyle, everything. So then we need some kind of motivation for that. It is easy, as Sandeep said, it's easy for us to go off track once the coach is not there. It is like you have someone and you are accountable to someone that you are shown. Even I work as a player also. I am active, so I put my food log on the app every day, and I log in my activity also on the app, so that many players ask me, coach, what did you eat? So it is kind of motivation for them also, like what I'm eating. And sometimes I tell them myself, okay, if you are not sure like what to eat, how to eat, you can join me on the arena, and then you can look at my food log and you will get to know how the balanced meal looks. So that has made it easier for me to motivate them basically.
Yeah, and that's the amazing part of GOQii, right? What we did was this system of arena. People don't understand, but we were doing some analysis, and we have seen that people who are active on arena are much more active and are more likely to achieve their health goals because they are seeing what others are doing. And it's really unfortunate that platforms like Instagram and Facebook, when you are there, you're only seeing everybody eating burgers and pizza and ice cream, and all unhealthy food is what is centered. So the minute you're opening something like Instagram, it makes you want to eat more junk food. And if you open GOQii Arena, you only want to become more healthy. So have you noticed that difference, Sandeep, when you are using Arena?
Yes, very much. I think I keep seeing people running, doing meditation, having salads and having healthy stuff. That kind of pushes me and encourages me. I spend very limited time on the social media, as you rightly said, looking at the food logs, the burgers and the parties which are happening, and then all the other news which are kind of demotivating us. So I kind of limit on the social media, and then look at the arena where people kind of share all the things. So that again pushes you out. When others are doing, why don't we take it to the next level? I think very, very important to see on arena.
Also, Sandeep, COVID has changed the world. We know Corona has changed the world. We saw how people with comorbidities and poor health had massive challenges with COVID, right? The deaths, if you see the percentage maximum were people with comorbidities. So tell me, in the post-COVID world, how do you now look at your own health and how do you look at your relationship with GOQii?
I think COVID has taught is that a preventive healthcare. I think we need to, rather than waiting for the disease to attack, it's very important that preventive healthcare is something which is important. That is something COVID has taught. So number one would be to take care, be healthy, be fit as a platform on GOQii. And with the smart vital, I think I could also check my temperatures and the oxygen as I'm traveling everywhere. So that kind of also gives me the background check on my temperature and the oxygen level. I think today, as we talk, I think health should be given the top priority. And health, when I say health, it should be preventive health rather than waiting for something to. Today it is COVID, tomorrow it can be something else. But are we equipped? Are we healthy? Are we fit to fight? Is our immunity good enough to fight? So I think very important. I think health should be on the top for every one of us.
And Dr. Naina, what do you think is now your role as a coach and your role as a health educator, especially in the post-COVID world?
Yeah, I keep saying the same thing as Sandeep said, that we don't know what's coming up next. Every single day we are, hearing something new, some new virus, some new thing. But we have to, if we are keeping up with our immunity and if we are having, a good health, basically, following all these, balanced diet and fitness, all these routines, definitely we can fight any type of diseases coming ahead in future for sure. So that is the only thing which can save us. Otherwise, because even the medicines, if you think about it, they say one works one day and the other works the other day, and we don't know. But what finally helps us is our own immunity, our own health, our own body can help us.
So, and I just want to add one last point, before we conclude this session, is if you look at what GOQii's long-term vision is and what we are going towards, and you must have now seen this coming in GOQii app, where we are calling it your status. There's elite, fit. You see, you can all those status. But if you really go inside, we have now created a longevity framework. So GOQii's goal is to see India is a country with the life expectancy of only 65, 66. Japan is 86, 87, and all other countries, people are living longer. Of course, one challenge with living longer is people have dialysis and this and that. The quality of life as you become older is becoming pathetic, and we have now seen our own relatives and parents and extended family that how the old people are suffering because of modern science, which is not letting them die, but it is not also letting them live a normal life. So our goal is to help you not just maintain your own health, but live longer and hopefully run a marathon when you are 90 years old. So that is the vision, what we are pushing on. I think Sandeep over here and Dr. Naina are examples, are live examples on how this is a collaborative effort of not just people as individuals or coaches, but we as a society. I think India, India is the only country where we celebrated the stomach and said if people had stomach, that's a sign of prosperity. That is what everybody talked about. But we know that having a paunch is not a sign of prosperity. So Sandeep, any final words you want to say about your experience with GOQii and the GOQii family?
I think a big thanks to GOQii, my coach, Dr. Naina, Vishal, and the entire team, all the coach on the GOQii fraternity whom I've been working. I think a big thanks to all of you. I think excellent. You have changed my life, and I have been the change and an example for everyone who's watching the video. I think a big thanks to GOQii to come into my life, changing my life, and I am feeling much more better and a new version. What if I can call myself, and I am the force right now. Be the force of GOQii.
Thank you.
So
And any final words from you, Dr. Naina?
Yeah, so I'm happy that I'm happy and also proud that I've been helping people change their life and to improve their quality of life and also health. The best example is Sandeep here. So I've been training many of them as a coach, and I would be looking forward to it in future also to train many more people like that. So it's like we can make a shift, a slow shift at least. If one or the other day everyone will understand which is important, health is important, and they will come back to us, and they will follow the same thing.
So once again, thanks everybody for joining us on this episode of GOQii Health Talks. Hope to see you soon with another set of new guests. Thank you. Thanks a lot, everybody.